Good morning, friends. Today is Saturday, April 4th, and Lizette is out with really bad allergies, so it's just going to be you and me today. And I want to invite you to spend the day with me. Among other things, I need to start planting my sweet pea seeds. Also, I want to start hardening off some of the seeds that you and I started during winter and grew under lights. But first, I need to head to the gym because I have an appointment with my trainer there at 7:45, and then at 9 o'clock, I have a dental appointment. I will not be bringing you to the dental appointment. But when we come home, we can start some gardening projects. So come hang out with me. I think we will have a fine time together. I love a gym that welcomes its clients with tulips. I'm working out at Kinetic Fitness in Chatham, New York today. I do not enjoy working out, but at my age, it is necessary to do so. In the comments, let me know if you have a regular exercise routine. After this workout, I will drive directly to the dentist's office to have my teeth cleaned. Then I will meet you back at the house. I had a great workout with my trainer. I can hardly walk now, but it was a great workout. And my teeth are clean, so I'm happy. And here are the sweet peas, which I normally plant directly in the garden, but this year I decided to try something different. I pre-sprouted the seeds. Let me take you back to 4 days ago so I can show you the pre-sprouting method I used. Sweet pea seeds have a very hard shell. To speed up sprouting, I simply placed the seeds on a damp paper towel. Then I covered the seeds with another damp towel and tucked the works into a plastic bag. I've just brought in my seed starting gear. Let's see how these sweet pea seeds are doing. Oops. 2 of them just fell out. Oh, I can already see some sprouts. Ooh, look at this. Wow. This is exciting. So several of them have already sprouted. We can go ahead and plant them just as soon as I get my workstation set up. So I have my seed starting mix here. Need some water. I made this a little too wet. I saw on a few YouTube videos where people were starting their snapdragon seeds in these, well, they're called deep root containers. So they look like this, and then you fold them together and put them in this tray. And the idea is that the sweet pea roots can grow deeply rather than around and around and become root bound. And then when you go to transplant them to the garden outdoors, there is 0 root disturbance. And I can link these deep root containers in the description below if you are interested. Okay, now we can fill these bad boys with the seed starting mix. I'm going to make a mess here. So let me count how many of these seeds have sprouted. There's one of them. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 19, 20, 21. Okay. Oh, 22. And we can cover these seeds. Where did I put the plastic bag? We will give these a little more time to sprout. Frankly, I was shocked at how quickly these seeds sprouted. And then, do I have enough containers? How many did I say? 20, let's see, I've got 4, 8, 12, 16. I need to fill up more of this tray. I'm going to use a wooden skewer to make openings for the seeds. I'm going to go down about 1/4 of an inch. So I need a little more mix over here and over here. And then we can plant the sprouted seeds. In you go. Actually, I found another sprouted seed, so that makes 25. Cover them. Sweet peas like cool temperatures, so I'm going to place these in my grow room, and the moment they send up any green growth, I'm going to put them outdoors, regardless of the temperature, because sweet peas can handle nights down to, I think, 25 degrees Fahrenheit. And when you grow them outdoors like that, they become very strong plants. Into the grow room, and then I need to clean up my mess. Almost all of the seeds that you and I planted together in mid and late winter have now germinated. We have many varieties of snapdragons, but sadly, some of them do not seem to be flourishing. We also have several varieties of storage onions, plus a year's supply of both celery and parsley. I think these seedlings will enjoy the nice weather today, so we can start hardening them off out of doors. I'm placing the trays on one of the raised beds in the herb garden. I have a lot of cleaning up to do in this little herb garden, but that's not going to happen today. Right now, I want to go clean up my kitchen workstation, and then I want to open up one of the new cat toys that one of you recommended to me. Let's see if Goldie and Binky enjoyed the toy. There, my workstation is clean. And here is the little cat toy that one of you recommended to me. It's called the Cat Dancer. And I did find it on Amazon. And I guess you unwind it. Yes. Now, I don't know if Binky will come downstairs to play with this on video, but I'm pretty sure Goldie will. Goldie is very brave and very sociable. Binky, not so much. Here we go. Let's give this a try in the hall. Goldie, you want this? You want to play? Well, Goldie does not seem terribly enthused about the Cat Dancer toy today. I think he prefers his beloved fishing pole. Now, with the garden work and the bit of cat play finished, I want to try my hand at making a sausage roll. It's a very British thing. So this is a pork and apple sausage roll, and the recipe comes from pinchofmint.com. And I'm going to try to follow his directions as best I can. So the first thing I need are some fennel seeds, and we are to toast and crush them. And while we're waiting for the fennel seeds to toast, we can finely dice an apple. He used a Granny Smith apple. I think this might be a Crispin, but I think it will work. And he did not peel the apple. My seeds are definitely toasted, turning off the heat. So I have never made a sausage roll before, so this will be a brand new experience for me. And I'm happy to share that experience with you. Now, the author of this recipe used a mortar and pestle to crush the fennel seeds. I'm going to use my spice grinder. Now, what else do I need? Clove of garlic. I have garlic pucks from Homegrown Garlic that I can use. 5 grams of chopped parsley. Frozen garlic puck that I can thaw in the microwave. And here is what I imagine is about 5 grams of parsley. I'm not going to weigh this. And as always, I will save the stems for vegetable stock. Oh, and I need to preheat my oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, then I need, well, he says 400 grams of ground sausage meat. This is 450 grams. You can come in.
Oh, it smells good.
Yeah, it's toasted fennel. Lizette just arrived. How are your allergies? Still bad?
Yes.
Okay. In the comments, let me know if you too are suffering from springtime allergies. I'm making a pork and apple sausage roll. And my sausage is not seasoned, so I'm going to add a little salt and black pepper. And then I need the toasted and ground fennel seeds and the parsley. And the apple. Seems like a lot of apple. Maybe too much apple. Maybe I won't add all of it. I'll make myself a little chopped parsley and chopped apple salad because I have a little bit of leftover parsley here. And we need to mix this all together. And I'm going to use my hands. Oh, I forgot my garlic. In you go. I'm glad my microwave notified me very loudly. And in we go. I think I have way too much apple in this mixture, but he did say 1 Granny Smith apple cut into the small dice, and he said 400 grams of pork sausage. I'm using 450 grams, so maybe it will work out. Now I'm going to pop this into the refrigerator while I prepare the puff pastry. Actually, before I deal with the puff pastry, I want to put the sausage mixture in a Ziploc bag, which I will end up using as a piping bag. Into the fridge. All right, so I have my baking tray lined with parchment. And here is my puff pastry. Now, I don't know if this American version of puff pastry is the same as a British version. In the British, he says store-bought puff pastry, and he is British. But I think their puff pastry might be larger. I'm not sure. In any event, I need to brush the pastry all over with egg yolk. Actually, he says 2 egg yolks. So I will put the white in this bowl, and I will freeze the whites because they come in very handy whenever I want to make a souffle. I need my pastry brush. Now he says brush the pastry all over with the egg yolk. And the remaining yolk will be used to glaze the sausage roll. It actually has a double glaze. Now, if any part of this, that's my oven telling me it has achieved 350 degrees Fahrenheit. I was saying, if any part of this recipe goes awry, it will be this next part. I need to pipe this along the pastry, well, down the middle of the pastry. And he said to make about a 1-inch opening in the pastry bag. Okay, this might work. Oh, and he said to overlap or let there be an overhang the sausage to allow for shrinkage. Well, this is not going terribly well so far. Here we go. Well, it's kind of working. And then we fold this part over the roll like this. And I'm quite certain that his puff pastry was larger than this because he had a lot of surplus pastry. I have barely any. So I'm going to just roll the whole thing over. And that egg wash is going to glue the seam in place, but I'm going to pinch the seam anyway. And then we brush the whole shebang with egg yolk. I think this just might work out. And then he says to let this sit for about 5 minutes, either at room temperature or in the fridge. Let the egg yolk become sort of tacky, and then brush the roll again with egg yolk. So I'm going to do that. One more brusharoo. Now all of this yolk is going to turn this puff pastry a deep golden brown. Okay, and then he decorated his puff pastry by just scoring it. In other words, not cutting through the puff pastry. We're not making steam vents, just scoring it. Just making little lines. And then he garnished his with, I think it was onion, or what did he say? Onion seeds and sea salt flakes. I don't have onion seeds. Well, I planted all of my onion seeds. So I'm going to garnish mine with toasted sesame seeds and flaky salt. And then this goes into the preheated oven until the pastry is nicely golden and the pork sausage is cooked through. He says 25 to 30 minutes, but I'm going to test mine with a meat thermometer. And if it's not done, excuse me, my dog is at my feet because pork sausage. If the pork is not done after 30 minutes, I will just cover the puff pastry with aluminum foil and continue baking until it is done. And while we are waiting on the sausage roll, I'm going to get cleaned up here. And then I want to put the seeds that we put outdoors, I want to bring them back indoors because it's starting to rain. Not a moment too soon. I just heard a clap of thunder. This was in the oven for almost 1 full hour. And I did cover it with aluminum foil because the pastry had already turned a rich golden brown. Checking the temperature. Yep, 165 degrees Fahrenheit. Now I'm going to let this cool for a bit and then we can slice into it. And while we wait for that to happen, I need to go practice piano. was most certainly not my best practice session ever. And I blame it on the fact that I am starving. So let's tuck into this pork and apple sausage roll. I had to remember what it was called. See if we can transfer this to a board. It certainly looks beautiful. Now let's see. So the idea, I think, is to just cut this into, 1 or 2 inch portions, or you could eat the whole thing just as it is. Oh, look at this. It is gorgeous. And I want to enjoy mine with some Dijon mustard. Very informal dining. Holy cow, this is delicious. I love the apple mixed in with the pork sausage. Oh, it's just perfection. I need to whip up a simple salad, and then I will call my spouse down for dinner. And I want to thank you for being here with me today as we tackled a whole lot of odds and ends, and we even got to test out a new recipe. And again, I will post this recipe in the description box below. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being you, and I can't wait to see you next time. Bye for now, friends.